10 pieces of evidence that prove Jesus was real. 1. The Shroud of Turin was used to wrap his body. It still supposedly bears his image. The piece of cloth is rather controversial. In 1988, a carbon dating test was run on it. It showed a date of creation between 1260 and 1390, but the shroud was damaged by fire and mended in 1532. A 2015 study found traces of DNA on the shroud. 2. Two crucifixion nails were found in Jerusalem. The nails were discovered in a 2,000-year-old tomb. One was found inside a heel bone. The nails still had traces of olive tree wood on it. 3. The Pilate stone proves Pilate existed. In the Bible, Pontius Pilate orders the crucifixion, but until 1961, his historicity remained in question. Then the Pilate stone was discovered at Caesarea Maritima. It was a seaport built by Herod the Great. The inscription reads, "Pontius Pilate, prefect of Judea, has made this Tiberium and dedicated it to the Augustan gods." 4. Nazareth has been located. There is a city of Nazareth in Israel, but there was no evidence it existed 2,000 years ago. In 2009, an archaeological expedition made a discovery. They found small houses and ancient tools. There is also evidence of terrace farming. This proves Nazareth was inhabited in Jesus' time. 5. Many churches have pieces of the cross. Reports of the true cross started to spread in the 4th century. Pieces of the cross were venerated in Jerusalem on Good Friday. By the Middle Ages, many churches had these relics. However, their authenticity is hard to prove. 6. Notre Dame in Paris has a crown of thorns. This particular crown of thorns can be dated to the 4th century. Centuries ago, it was kept in Jerusalem and Constantinople. Its history as a holy relic is very impressive, but there's no evidence it was ever worn by Jesus. 7. The Alexamenos graffito dates to 200 AD. It's one of the oldest images of Jesus. The image was actually a joke left by a non-Christian. It shows a crucified man with the head of a donkey. Still, it proves that in 200 AD, Jesus was a recognized figure. 8. Jesus was mentioned by many non-Christian sources. The oldest is the writings of Jewish scholar Flavius Josephus. In 93 AD, Flavius wrote a history of his era that had this passage.
"Now there was about this time Jesus, a wise man, if it be lawful to call him a man. For he was a doer of wonderful works, a teacher of such men as receive the truth with pleasure."
Roman historian Tacitus mentions Jesus in 116 AD.
Christus was put to death by Pontius Pilate, procurator of Judea in the reign of Tiberius.
9. The Dead Sea Scrolls possibly mention Jesus. It's a set of ancient documents discovered in Israel in the 1940s. They date back to between 150 BC and 70 AD. They don't mention Jesus by name, but there are references to a teacher of righteousness. The scrolls also mention the Son of God. 10. There is more evidence for Jesus than many other figures. Michael Grant, an atheist historian, concluded,
"We can no more reject Jesus' existence than we can reject the existence of a mass of pagan personages, whose reality as historical figures is never questioned."
The divinity of Jesus is a matter of belief, but his historicity is a fact.